Well, I am at the end of my life, Howard, and here's what I've come to about it. It's not how much time you got, it's what you do with the time that you do have.
David Van Cortlandt Crosby, born August 14, 1941 and passed away on January 18, 2023, was an American singer, guitarist, and songwriter. In addition to his solo career, he was a founding member of both the Byrds and Crosby, Stills and Nash. Crosby joined the Byrds in 1964. They had their first #1 hit in April 1965 with a cover of Mr. Tambourine Man by Bob Dylan. Crosby appeared on the Byrds' first 5 albums and produced the original lineup's 1973 reunion album. He subsequently formed Crosby, Stills and Nash in 1968 with Stephen Stills and Graham Nash. He was born in Los Angeles, California, second son of Academy Award-winning cinematographer Floyd Crosby, who formerly worked on Wall Street, and Elif Van Cortlandt Whitehead, a salesperson at Macy's department store. Crosby had a son with Celia Crawford Ferguson, James Raymond, in 1962, who was placed for adoption and reunited with Crosby as an adult. Since 1997, Raymond has performed with Crosby on stage and in the studio, as a member of CPR and as part of the touring bands for Crosby and Nash and Crosby, Stills and Nash. Crosby had 3 other children, a daughter, Erica, with Jackie Guthrie, a daughter, Donovan Crosby, with former girlfriend Debbie Donovan, and a son, Django Crosby, who was conceived with wife Jan Dance after extensive fertility treatments while Crosby's liver was failing. Crosby, then 45, married Jan Dance, then 35, in May 1987 at the Hollywood Church of Religious Science in Los Angeles. Crosby's brother Ethan, who taught him to play guitar and started his musical career with him, committed suicide in late 1997 or early 1998. The date is unknown because Ethan left a note not to search for his body but to let him return to the earth.
Said I'm going down, you guys just found, gonna join in and rock and roll there.
Taking a brief look at the chart history with Crosby, Stills, Nash and sometimes Young. The year 1969 brought U.S. Marrakesh Express, which would peak at number 28 on the Hot 100 singles charts. Their career took off in 1970 with the top 20 hits Woodstock, Teach Your Children, and Our House.
Just a song before I go, to whom it may concern.
They finally made the top 10 in 1977 with Just a Song Before I Go. But their songs failed to reach the top 40 after that and their popularity waned.
And there's so much time to make up everywhere you turn. Time we have wasted on the way.
They came roaring back with a comeback in 1982 with the big hits Wasted on the Way and Southern Cross.
When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way.
Crosby would also make a comeback in his solo career with Drive My Car.
I screwed up. I shot my mouth off when I shouldn't have.
Crosby told the Idaho Statesman in 2014 that he doesn't feel the urge to go try something new despite being married to his wife for so long. And I happen to know that Young is hanging out with somebody that's a purely poisonous predator now, he added. And that's karma. He's gonna get hurt. But I understand why it happened. I'm just sad about it. I'm always sad when I see love get tossed in the gutter. Young didn't immediately address his CSNY bandmates' remarks, but Far Out magazine wrote that he announced during a concert a few weeks later that the supergroup will never tour again. A few days after that show, Crosby noted that Young is very angry with me, apparently confirming what many people had suspected: the two veteran rockers were beefing big time. During the early 1990s, Crosby appeared as a guest star in several episodes of The John Larroquette Show, where he played the part of Larroquette's AA sponsor. He appeared on an episode of Roseanne as the singer, husband of one of Roseanne's co-workers, who was played by Bonnie Bramlett. He was on an episode of Ellen called Ellen Unplugged. He also appeared as a pirate in the 1991 film Hook.
Long live the hook! Save me, Daddy!
As a 1970s hippie in the 1991 film Backdraft, and as a bartender in the 1992 feature film Thunderheart. In 1985, Crosby spent 9 months in a Texas state prison after being convicted of several drugs and weapons offenses. The drug charges were related to possession of heroin and cocaine. Also in 1985, Crosby was arrested for drunken driving, a hit-and-run driving accident, and possession of a concealed pistol and drug paraphernalia. Crosby was arrested after driving into a fence in a Marin County suburb, where officers found a .45 caliber pistol and cocaine in his car. On March 7, 2004, Crosby was charged with criminal possession of a weapon in the third degree, illegal possession of a hunting knife, illegal possession of ammunition, and illegal possession of about 1 ounce of marijuana. Crosby left the items behind in his New York City hotel room. Authorities said a hotel employee searched the suitcase for identification and found about 1 ounce of marijuana, rolling papers, 2 knives, and a .45 caliber pistol. Mr. Crosby was arrested when he returned to the hotel to pick up his bag. After spending 12 hours in jail, he was released on $3,500 bail. On July 4, 2004, he pleaded guilty in New York State Supreme Court to attempted criminal possession of a weapon and was fined $5,000 and given no jail time. Prosecutors did not seek a more severe penalty on the weapons charge because the pistol was registered in California and was stowed safely in his luggage when it was found. A charge of unlawful possession of marijuana was dismissed. Crosby was discharged by the court on condition that he pay his fine and not get arrested again. Did Crosby ever reconcile with his bandmates?
You know, I was in a conversation. I thought the interview was over, and the guy, of course, it wasn't over, and the guy
So this was
it.
like you thought it was off the record?
Yeah, and
okay.
it wasn't.
Amid all the public bickering between David Crosby and Neil Young, you may be wondering what the rest of CSNY Graham Nash and Stephen Stills thinks about the feud. As it seems, they're on Young's side and have also fallen out with Crosby in the years since his ill-fated Idaho Statesman interview. Stephen and Neil and I are great, Nash told CBS This Morning's Anthony Mason in May 2021. We talk often. We don't talk to David. For his part, Crosby told Mason in a separately filmed interview that he doesn't expect to be friends with Graham at any point, adding for good measure that Neil hates my guts. He was, however, still remorseful for the things he said about Young and Daryl Hannah.
But that's neither here nor there. I shouldn't have done it, and here's the real reason why. I'm a screw-up. Daryl Hannah never wound up in a Texas prison.
So, it appears that, tragically, David Crosby left this earth with some bitterness from his former bandmates, but this is what Graham Nash had to say. It is with a deep and profound sadness that I learned that my friend David Crosby has passed. I know people tend to focus on how volatile our relationship has been at times, but what has always mattered to David and me more than anything was the pure joy of the music we created together, the sound we discovered with one another, and the deep friendship we shared over all these many long years, Nash wrote. David was fearless in life and in music. He leaves behind a tremendous void as far as sheer personality and talent in this world. He spoke his mind, his heart, and his passion through his beautiful music and leaves an incredible legacy. These are the things that matter most. My heart is truly with his wife, Jan, his son, Django, and all of the people he has touched in this world. David Crosby, rest in peace. That was our show for today. Let me know what you thought in the comments section below. If you like the show, please subscribe to my channel, ring the bell to stay informed, and check out my Carl Vincent Vampire Hunter merchandise. Until next time, this is Andrew in for Kevin Given saying live long and prosper, may the force be with you, and keep reaching for the stars.